Every house makes noise. Pipes, wood, a fridge that kicks on at night. But there's one kind of sound that doesn't belong. A sound that stops the moment you listen, like it knows you're awake. The first time I heard it, it was a footstep above my bed, and I was in a one-story house. These are fictional horror stories, but they're built on something real. At night, your brain forgives sounds, as long as it can explain them. Tonight, the explanations run out. 3 stories, 3 homes. One phrase I wish I never heard. Wrong room. Story 1. I rented a 1-story place for silence. No neighbors above me. The first night was so quiet it felt staged, like the house was holding its breath. At 1:40 a.m., I heard the first step. Not a creak, a step with weight. Step, pause, step, like someone testing boards that wouldn't squeak. I sat up, staring at the ceiling, waiting for logic to return. Then the footsteps stopped, too clean, too perfect, like whoever was up there had been listening to my breathing. I did the dumb thing. I spoke out loud. Hello? Silence. Then one step directly above my closet. That's when fear turns precise, because panic is loud and precision is quiet. In the morning, I searched for an attic hatch. There wasn't one. No panel, no ladder, just a sealed ceiling. If there's no attic, where did the footsteps come from? That night, I recorded audio on my phone. Mic pointed up. At 1:39 a.m., the waveform spiked. Footsteps again. Same pattern. But underneath them, I heard a faint dragging sound, like cloth or hair brushing the inside of the ceiling. Proof didn't calm me. It made it real. Then, I heard an inhale. Not above me. Inside my room. Slow. Close. Like someone breathing beside my bed. I turned toward the closet. The shadow under the door shifted, like something inside moved its weight. I didn't scream. I didn't move fast. Fast makes noise. I whispered, "Who's there?" The ceiling answered with tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Inside the drywall, directly above the closet. Then came scratching. Careful, searching, like it was finding the thinnest spot. I snapped the lights on. The room looked normal, but my phone was still recording. In the bright silence, the audio caught one last step. Not above me, behind the closet door. I left with my keys and my phone. 2 days later, the landlord texted, "You left it unlocked." I replied, "No, I locked it." He answered, "Then why were both deadbolts turned from the inside?" 1-story house, no attic, but something still lived, upstairs. Story 2 started in my old apartment, the one I trusted. At 2:17 a.m., I heard a drawer slide open. Soft, smooth, almost polite. Then again, I got up without turning on lights and walked into the kitchen. The drawer was open 2 inches, wide enough to prove control. I pulled it open fully. Everything looked normal. Then behind me, clink, a spoon lay on the counter. Not dropped, placed straight, like someone set it down gently. I live alone. I backed away and opened my smart home app for answers. A new device was connected to my network. Name, kitchen. I never added a device called kitchen. I tapped it. One button appeared. Listen. My thumb hovered. Something in me begged, don't. I pressed it anyway. For a second, nothing happened. Then my speaker lit up and whispered. Again. Not robotic. Human. Through a machine. My phone buzzed. Kitchen started a routine. The overhead light flickered once. The drawer slid shut slowly, like a hand finishing a task. The app updated. Step 2. Lock. I heard a tiny click from the pantry door. The pantry handle moved once, like someone tested it from inside. I whispered, "Stop." The speaker whispered back, "Your house makes so many sounds." Then the kitchen went unnaturally quiet. No fridge hum, no AC, like the room held its breath. My phone buzzed again. Step 3. Turn around. I didn't. The whisper came again, closer than the speaker should allow. Turn around. I slammed the hallway light on. Bright light flooded the kitchen, and I saw the stove knobs. Every knob was turned slightly off center. Not enough to ignite, enough to show practice. Someone had learned how to make danger look accidental. I backed out and left. From the hallway I glanced once, and the speaker said softly, "I know what time you wake up." That's when the sound stopped being a sound. It became a schedule. Story 3 happened when I babysat for my sister. One night, the baby monitor was old, camera in the nursery, receiver in my hand. The baby fell asleep fast. At 12:07 a.m., the receiver crackled, but it wasn't a cry. It was breathing. Slow, steady, too heavy to be a baby. I stared at the screen. The baby slept normally, chest rising and falling. But the breathing kept going, like someone behind fabric. Then the baby lifted one hand and pointed at the right side wall, still half asleep. Finger steady, like it knew where to aim. I opened the nursery door a few inches. Nightlight glow. Quiet room, the baby's hand stayed raised, still pointing. I stepped in and whispered his name. He didn't wake. The receiver crackled again, and the breathing got clearer, closer, not from the nursery speaker, from the receiver itself. On the wall where he pointed, a shadow started forming, slow like ink and water. It didn't match anything in the room. My throat tightened. The shadow's head tilted. Shadows don't tilt. Things do. I flipped the main light on. Bright light filled the nursery. And the shadow stayed, solid. Wrong, like it belonged there. The baby opened his eyes and smiled at the wall, not at me. The receiver whispered through static, "Wrong room." My stomach dropped, because I'd heard that phrase before, wrong room. I grabbed the baby and backed out. The moment I crossed the doorway, the receiver went dead silent. No hiss, no static. When my sister came home, I asked, "Do you ever hear breathing on the monitor?" She paused, then said, "Only when it's unplugged."
I told you not to leave it unplugged.
I looked down at the receiver, because I had unplugged it when I ran. But it still whispered, "Wrong room," like it didn't need power. That's what scares me most. Sounds that keep going after they shouldn't. If your house ever makes a noise that feels careful, don't rush to explain it away just to feel safe. Because the worst sounds aren't loud, they're controlled. They stop when you listen, like they're learning you. These were fictional stories, but the feeling is real. If you want more long horror stories and short scares like this, subscribe and follow Haunted Script. Because the scariest sound in a house is the one trying not to be heard. And the moment you notice it, it notices you back.